Hey guys, welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Bruce and today I want to talk about the tier 6 German heavy tank, the WK3601H. Furthermore, I want to explain what you should do if you're in a low tier situation. If you're interested in more reviews and gameplay, go to YouTube and search for World of Tanks with Bruce to get all of my videos, or click on the subscribe button. In addition to this, you can now also support me on Patreon, so feel free to follow this link and become a patron. And now, let's go. So before we start with some gameplay, let's quickly talk about my crew and my setup. So first of all, as you can see, my commander is really good. And then for the rest of the crew, I have leveled up brothers in arms, and then I'm working on repairs. I think those are the most important skills for a heavy tank. If you have those two skills, then your crew is pretty much set up in a good way for a heavy tank. Now, as far as the loader goes, I selected intuition. I think this is extremely important for high alpha guns, especially for heavy tanks, because you will be able to quickly switch between shells, between the regular ammunition, the premium ammunition, and then also the high explosive. And as you can see on this tank, with the high explosive ammunition, you get 44 millimeters of penetration, dealing 270 alpha compared to the 220 alpha of the normal and the premium shell. Now, this tank has an insanely high amount of HP. 1200 is basically tier 8 level, so I highly recommend to use the improved hardening in order to further boost this value. And with the improved hardening, I'm able to get 1320 HP. This is a value once again of tier 8 tanks, so this is a tremendous advantage on tier 6. Now, furthermore, I'm playing with the gun rammer and then obviously with improved ventilation, so I'm not concerned about the view range too much. I only have 394 meters of view range. However, this is a heavy tank, and yes, I know that the armor profile is not the strongest. However, and we'll come to this in a second. However, I'm a heavy tank and I will most likely not outspot other tanks anyway, so I concentrate on on this setup. So if we take a look at the armor profile of the WK3601H, we can see there is actually not much to talk about. The frontal armor is not sloped, nor does it offer a good protection. Only 100 millimeters means that every tank will be able to penetrate you frontally. Now, as far as the turret goes, yes, you have some strong parts, but right next to the gun, it drops down to 100 or 120. So you will not consistently bounce shots with your turret, let's put it like that. On the other hand, you can side scrape with this tank. So as you see, the armor protection on the side is pretty good. 60 millimeters means that you can actually side scrape. Now, don't overturn the tank, because then it will obviously become weak, but side scraping is an option on this tank. And then yeah, you can use your gun depression. However, it will not increase your armor, because the angling of the frontal armor is just too bad. Alright, here we are in the first game with our WK3601H. We are spawning on Himmelsdorf, and as usual, let's first of all take a look at the map. Spawning on Himmelsdorf in the north, this is how the situation usually looks like, and with the heavy tank you have several options. You can play in the heavy lane right here, you can go all the way up to the hill to play somewhere like here, or you can go basically here and support this part, and that all depends on whether you are top tier or low tier. So those are the options you have, and the only problem is it takes you quite a while to go on top of the hill, so you lose time and you will be much more effectively entering the battle if you go here or to the heavy lane right here. Okay, so in this case, I analyzed that obviously we are playing in a heavy tank and we are in a tier 6 game, so we are not in a low tier situation. However, the armor profile, as you just saw, of the WK3601 is it's not like you are playing in a Russian brawling heavy. So I do not want to go to the brawling area and brawl against the KV1S or maybe even the KV2, but instead I want to go to this position, because in this position, I can deal 220 damage not only to some medium tanks or maybe some light tanks, but then I can also maybe get some crossfire towards the hill if that is needed. Alright, so we bounced the first shot on the T-52, which is very unfortunate. Very lucky for him. And then can we get a shot on the Su-100? No, I think this tank is behind cover. And so, yeah, as you can see, if we take a look at the minimap, as you can see, the KV-2 is in the brawling area, and so are the other heavy tanks. So going there would not be a very good gameplay by myself. Alright, so let's first of all take a look at the weaponry of the VK3601H. Unfortunately, we do not hit the Jackson. We have a base DPM of 1995, so almost 2000, which is quite nice for a tier 6 tank. 220 alpha damage is also nice, and the penetration is a little bit lackluster with only 145, but you can significantly increase this value if you are pressing the 2 key. The reload time is fine, gives us, as I said, a DPM of approximately 2000, and then the dispersion is quite nice, 0.35, and so are the dispersion values. So the gun handling is overall pretty nice, plus you get a very good reload time for a tier 6 heavy tank. Alright, as you have seen, if you paid attention, most of the team is lit, and so I was very sure that I could go into this position without having to fear some kind of crossfire, some kind of damage from the enemy team. And so now I want to use this positioning, which is very, very strong, in order to get crossfire on every tank that is playing here in the middle. Basically down the G lane, and now I can just use this kind of hull down position, hide most part of my tank, but then make pressure towards the enemy team, which is working very, very nicely in this situation. The game is already won, so we can continue to press forward. And now let's talk about the mobility. The mobility is quite good, I would say, for a heavy tank. You get 50 km per hour top speed, 15 reverse, power to weight ratio of approximately 13, 12.59er is, let's say, it's okay. It's not the best value, but also not the worst one, certainly. And then you get 15 degrees of gun elevation, which is not too much, but at least 8 degrees of gun depression. So overall, yeah, this is kind of an all-rounder heavy tank, except for the armor profile. But you can really side scrape with this tank, and this is what I am doing right here. So if I'm side scraping, then the enemy team has a hard time to penetrate me. As you can see, it's not impossible, but it's at least tough for the enemy to do this. And as you can see, we bounced the shot of the Stritzwagen 74. Now, if we take a look at the armor profile, as you can see, only 100mm of frontal armor, which can be penetrated easily by any other tank you will encounter. And then at least you have 60mm of hull armor on the side and 80mm on turret armor on the side. The biggest strength of this tank is its insane amount of HP. 1200 HP is an insane value for tier 6. This is basically the level of tier 8 tanks, and you should really try to use this to your advantage. If you do not know what I'm talking about, then go and check out the other video that I made about the best tier 6 tanks, and there the video with the VK36H, because this is the strength of this tank. Now, to finish up the stats, this tank does have 370 meters of view range, which is quite good for a tier 6 tank in my opinion. And then the camo values obviously are pretty bad because it's a heavy tank. So to sum it up, with this tank you get a wonderful amount of HP that you should really exploit. By using the correct equipment, you get a, let's say, mediocre mobile heavy tank, which does not have too much armor, which might bounce shots frequently, and which you can use to side scrape, but which will certainly be penetrated frontally by any other tank. Plus you get a pretty solid gun with 220 alpha damage and with a relative solid gun handling for a tier 6 tank. So overall, in my opinion, this is a very, very great tank. And now let's go to the second game. Okay, here we are in the second game, and we are now in a low tier situation, in a tier 8 matchup. And first of all, let's take a look at the map. Spawning on Empire's border in the southwest, the situation usually looks like this, and with the heavy tank you have several options. You can go to the brawling area, which is right here. The problem is, in my opinion, that the northern spawn does have an advantage over here. So in my opinion, the advantage for the southeastern team is right here in the middle. So you will be able to control this hill if you go here and then create a crossfire situation, so to not allow the red team to move on top of the hill. And if you want this part, you can basically defend the attacking team. If they manage to attack the south, you can defend them if you are situated somewhere like here. But you can also get crossfire towards the other side of the map, so basically to all of this area. So this position is a very beneficial position, and I would prefer to try to win this part of the map. Alright, so let's see how it goes. Obviously, in a low tier situation, you really have to check out what your team is doing. So you cannot just simply push to one flank, because you are the low tier tank and your firepower is weaker compared to the high tier tanks. So in this case, it looks like quite a chunk of tank is going towards the K, J, or maybe H lane, so towards the hill or the heavy lane. As you can see, yes, we have only 2 tanks going to the north, which is in my opinion the right play on this map. And so yes, we will definitely follow, and most likely the AMBT, the tier 8 American auto reloading tank that has just entered the game, is also going towards the hill. So we will try to support our team. If you're in a low tier situation, you should always definitely support your team. Here was checking out the gun depression on this tank. So in this case, everything is all right. Our team is going to the important position, and we can definitely help our team and try to win this part of the map. The AMBT is even making pressure on the brawling area, which is understandable because it is the top tier tank, and its firepower as well as its armor is equal to the top tier heavy tank, certainly equal to the mid tier and low tier heavy tanks. So I think it's the correct decision of this guy to play down in the brawling area. Right, so slowly but surely we are arriving in this position. Now, as you can see, the enemy WoT 46 is playing in this area, and now we have to make sure that he does not manage to win this portion of the map, and we are signaling our Zoo-152 that we are going to help him. And so okay, I could have taken a shot here, but here, oh, okay, bounced this shot, which is very unfortunate, but we will make pressure, and we will make sure, nice, very nice, that the top tier medium tank of the enemy team is taken out, which is fantastic for our team. Looks like so far our team is brawling in the heavy lane. And now let's pause here real quick. So there are 2 options that I can do. I can go down here and try to fall into the back of those tanks, which is a good gameplay to make pressure to win this flank here. Now the problem is that the Nashorn, the German TD, as well as the Zoo-152 has not been spotted so far. So I expect them to sit right here in this position, and I definitely do not want to lose all of my hit points by going down here. So instead, I want to go here and get crossfire onto those guys that are fortunately just in this position. Third option would be that I go down here and try to support my my tanks playing on the heavy lane, but I certainly do not want to brawl with the other tanks. First, because I am a low tier tank, but second, even as I said in the first game, even if I was in a tier 6 game, my armor is just not sufficient in order to compete or to brawl with other tanks. So instead, I want to go here, and as you can see, first of all, we can make damage on the AMX-12T. Here you go, and we can take him out. Nice. And now we will try to make blind shots because those tanks are out of render range. Here you go. This is how we can do it. So if you want to make blind shots, just put this line towards where the enemy tank is positioned, and then you only have to fine-tune the height and aim just above the ground, just like this. And then yeah, it's just a thing of trial and error. So as you can see, some of my shots are not hitting, but some of them, this one was also not hitting. If you can see the splash on the ground, then the shots are not hitting, just like that. So let's pause here real quick. As you can see, we lost all those tanks that tried to make pressure down here to the Su-152 and maybe also to the Nashorn. So that's what I kind of had foreseen. So this was a kind of dangerous and in my opinion stupid gameplay. So in my opinion, the gameplay that we are making here is the better option. We just want to go for blind shots and trying to help out our team in the north to win the northern flank. Okay, that blind shot also did not hit. Fortunately, we have enough ammunition in this tank. Okay, too bad. This shot also did not hit. Maybe this one. I think this one was a hit. Okay, but we did not penetrate, unfortunately. Okay, maybe this one. Yeah, okay. This one also didn't hit. I think I'm not very lucky. Okay, so VZ-120 is making pressure, and now I do need to help the Su-150. And so the best thing I can do is I can open up a crossfire, some kind of crossfire situation, so that this TD has to focus on the Su-152. And then here you go. Okay. So he will now get a shot towards me. Actually, no, he will not, because I can take him out. So excellent. Okay. Perfect, so we are still in the game. Now it looks like our team will be able to win the northern flank, and now it is definitely time to... Here you go. Okay, Nashorn is right here to help the IS-3. Now obviously the Nashorn is approaching my position, so I want to get a shot on him. Okay, yeah, he's making damage, which is bad for me. I should have turned my tank in another direction. Okay. Looks like the T-150 is also... Okay, now I'm loading HE because the Nashorn, I should be able to punish the Nashorn if he peeks over, because he does not have any armor whatsoever. So far, I have preserved my hit points very, very well. Okay, I think... No, this one... Now it looks like... Hopefully the IS-3 is catching up, and I think I'm in a stupid position. I should... Okay, yeah. This is a stupid position now. Okay, now I need to load... I need to load the regular ammunition, and now I need to hurry up in order to make damage to take out one or another tank. And because I have set up myself in a stupid position here, because now I will be flanked by those tanks. And now what I need to do in this situation is I need to make sure to stay behind cover so that only one tank can hit me as long as possible. So this is what I'm trying to do here. Hoping that the IS-3 will catch up as soon as possible. Okay. How could he hit me? Okay, I peeked out. Okay, okay. That was stupid. That was stupid by me. At least I can now... Oh, God. Okay. Fine, the IS-3 could help me out, but that was a certainly a misplay by me, and now I will just wait until the IS-3 can take a shot on the T-150. Now he is turning his turret, excellent, and now I can also get a shot on him, nice. And so, yeah. Thanks to the IS-3, here you go, I can take out the T-150, and so, yeah. So now the game is almost won. I think with the ISU-152K flanking the Su-152, we can certainly take out this tank destroyer. And I think now my thought process is that he might have gone down the one lane, down to the J1 position or so. And so I want to go there and just be first, arrive there first, so that I can take out the tank. Yep, exactly, that is exactly what happened. So I'm loading HE, but I think, okay, this is a bad idea because he's facing me. I thought he would face the other tank. Alright, so now I have to get some kind of good play on here. Alright, let's get a shot on him. Oh, nice. He is, let's try to track him. Here you go. Nice. Alright, perfect. So this is the power of track shots. And you should always think of tracking your opponents. Nice. So we made approximately 2.5k damage, 400 assisting damage, so approximately 2.9k damage combined in a tier 6 tank in a tier 8 matchup. And key to success in such a low tier sorry, in such a low tier situation is do not go on a flank on your own, but instead try to support your team. Obviously you always want to win the important position, and yeah, let's see how the third game goes, and it will be on the same map just to see how the gameplay can be different between different games. Third game in our VK3601H, and as I said, it will be on the exact same map from the exact same position, so we don't need to look at the map once again because we know where the important position is. And now once again, same spiel. In a low tier situation, we have to look where our team is going. Obviously we want to go to the hill, to the G4 position to win this position because it's the most important position on the map. And now obviously, as I said, we have to look where our team is going. So look at this, look where our team is going. So yes, the Cromwell is going there, but all of our top tier tanks are going towards the north. So a completely different situation compared to the last game. And now it just does not make sense what the Cromwell is doing to push to, as a low tier tank, to push towards the important position on your own, because guess who will be waiting for him? I'm counting on the Panzer 58 WoT, the tier 8 medium tank, waiting there. Most likely also the IS-3 is going towards the J2 position or so, and then also the other heavy tanks, so the tier 7 tanks. So this is a very stupid setup, and I think it is a huge misplay by my team. But nonetheless, I'm in a match with 14 other teammates, so it would be just stupid to going to this position despite the choice of the rest of my team. So this is why I went to this flank, and I really do think that it is very, very stupid gameplay by my team. But what else can I do? Now fortunately, as you can see, the Panzer 58 WoT went to the middle, which is in my opinion also a misplay by him. But as you can see, the T78, the IS, and also the T29 as well as the AMX 1375 are playing in the middle, and so we'll see how it goes. My prediction is that the Cromwell as well as the Super Hellcat as well as the EBR Hodge, okay, this tank is already leaving, they will be taken out by the team in the next few minutes. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. I certainly do not want to brawl. Okay, there's the IS-3. So also kind of interesting game. Everybody's not playing where you would expect them to play. Now, I want to hide behind all the tanks, so not taking a shot from the IS-3, but once he peeks out, I will take a shot on him. Here you go. Alright, now, okay, fortunately, he was not aiming towards me, which is good. And now let's try to track him. At least we can get another shot. And now, at least we could get 2 shots on the IS-3. Now, as I predicted, the... okay, here you go. Oh, that was too bad. As I predicted, the Cromwell and the Super Hellcat got taken out by the IS and the T29, which was as expected, and they just did not have minimap awareness whatsoever. By the way, if you are asking yourself what minimap awareness means, because I always talk about have minimap awareness. If you are asking yourself what this means, check out my video. I made a dedicated video about minimap awareness, which might help you out and explains a lot of things concerning minimap awareness. Okay, back to the game. So Strangely enough, this game is won. We are 6 versus 3. And now it is just time to make more pressure. So we have won the whole northern part of the map. And so my game plan is just to fall back and trying to defend our base. Because I don't want the enemy to cap our base and to win the game. While we have actually, at least if we, you know, consider the stats and the tanks that are remaining in this game, actually won the game. Okay, so in my opinion, this is a perfect... Okay, stupid EBR. Come on, drive back. So, I'm hoping to set up a crossfire situation with Su 152, and this is, as you can see, this was a very, very strange game. Our team did not what it was supposed to do. It did not play the important position. But nonetheless, we won the game, and more importantly, we kept our tank in the game because we had situational awareness on what is going on in the game. And so now we are in a position where we can trade our hit points and do more damage. We would certainly not be in such a situation. Okay, too bad. If we had chosen to go where the Cromwell went and just lost our tank. So now we want to, first of all, load premium ammunition because I think 145 is not enough for the IS. Okay, here you go. Nice, we bounce, fortunately. And nice, we get... Nice. Okay, so... Okay, looks like... I think we can just push forward and just trade in our hit points. Maybe... No, looks like the... Yep, the E25 is still sitting in a bush, but I mean, what can I do? I think I will just push out and then get a shot on the tanks. Come on. Oh, come on. A ricochet, which is very unfortunate. Okay, at least we can finish off the IS. Now let's repair, or let's heal our crew. No, let's nice, we can finish him off. So this game we did not make half of the damage of the previous game, but in my opinion it was the exactly correct gameplay. Here you go, at least some more damage on the E25, and I think in the end we made the right choices. Obviously we are in a low tier game, so we cannot expect to be top on damage anytime in a low tier situation, but we kept our tank in the game and we had minimap awareness and had situational awareness on what our team is doing, and I think this is the key to success in a if you are in a low tier game. And yeah, so this is my tip for you. Always have situational awareness, see and recognize where your team is going, and if you're in a low tier situation, you really have to support your team. This is the role that you should be playing. Don't try to win a flank on your own because it will not be successful, but instead go with your team, work together and try to support your team, and especially your top tier tanks, as good as you can. Alright guys, that was it for today with the VK3601H. What do you think about this tank? Do you like it? What do you think about low tier situations? Do you think it's easy to follow my advice? Just leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Consider subscribing to my channel, and I see you next time in another World of Tanks video.